Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraya Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। सबका स्वागत है। तीन ही लोग हैं अभी। तो यस, हम चर्चा कर रहे थे, we were discussing the chapter 22nd last time, the marriage of Kardam Muni and Devahuti. So the first section we saw that, actually I think we could only complete that one only. So Swayambhu Manu glorified Kardam Muni. So last chapter Kardam Muni had glorified Swayambhu Manu for his duties and for his responsibilities as a Kshatriya. If he wouldn't come out in the state and look for the maintenance, order, law, everything, then rogues and thieves will increase, irresponsible people will flourish, and they will then dismantle the social order of Varnashram Dharma. And then protection of Brahmanas will not take place, protection of women will not take place, protection of children, protection of old people, protection of cow will not take place. And this would defeat the purpose of the Supreme Lord for creating this world. So Kshatriyas, especially Kshatriyas, they are meant for protecting people. Kshatraya. Kshat means one who protects. Traya means from any kind of suffering. Kshatraya. So any kind of suffering they protect. Kshatriya. So therefore they are called Kshatriyas. They give shelter to all the people. So king is very important. So along with the king, Brahmanas are important. So then in this chapter we saw that how Swayambhu Manu then glorified the position of Kardam Muni. So this is that. So Brahma Srijat Swamukhato means the Brahmanas are born from Brahma's Mukha, the mouth of Brahma. The Brahmanas are born, or you can say also the Virat form, Lord, from the Lord's mouth. These Brahmanas are born. So that's why they are very much important, because they have to spread the message of absolute truth. And what are the qualities of Brahmanas? Especially the Swayambhu Manu, here he is specifying specific about Kardamuni. Chandomayas Tapo Vidya Yoga Yuktan Alampatan. So they are Chandomaya Tapa. They are always doing tapasya, vidya, austerity, knowledge, and then yoga. And alampatan means they are not very much keen for sense gratification. They are averse. Averse are very means is averse means uh, whatever is required they take. It's like that. So like that. So this is a brahmanas, and then he says next that the brahmanas are like the heart and kshatriyas are like the arms. So in the body, or Prabhupada mentions in purport, kshatriyas are like the whole body and brahmanas are like the heart. So heart is more important. Even the body looks big, but heart is important because it is running the function of the whole body. So like that. So therefore brahmanas are protected by kshatriya, and kshatriyas are also protected by brahmana through austerity. So we saw last time. So here it's mentioned ato he anyonyam means each other, they are protecting each other. Atmanam brahmachatram cha rakshataha. Brahmanas are protecting kshatriyas, kshatriyas are protecting brahmanas. Anyonyam, each other they are protecting. So like that. So whenever there is a cooperation among all the varnas, so then Lord becomes pleased, because cooperation in varnas means to please the Lord. And when Lord becomes pleased, he then forwards the protection, or he gives the protection. So who is protecting anyone? Lord only. But why he is protecting? Because he is pleased with the cooperation of all the varnas. So then Kshatriyas, Brahmanas should cooperate, especially these two. Kshatriya, Brahmanas, if they cooperate, other Vaishyas and Sudras, they just follow, because they are not very powerful people. So if the leaders they cooperate, they set examples, so then whole other people, even though their numbers are big, they will follow. So all these things. Then yes, then he is actually, we saw last time again now, because he has heard from his spiritual master. So his spiritual master is Kardamuni. So he is very much thankful to him that my all doubts are now resolved, because I heard from your mouth that how much I have to be responsible for my kingship duties. So he is thanking him. And Srila Prabhupada mentions about his meeting with his spiritual master and how it changed his life. So this is important. And then he says that how much important, or you can say rare, it is very rare to meet saintly person like Kardamuni. Dishtaya, by fortune. Dishtaya means by fortune. Dishtaya me Bhagavan Drishto. You are very powerful like a Bhagwan. And Dishtaya, by fortune I am able to see you. Drishto. To Durdasho yo Kritatmanam. So akritatmana means those who have not completed their austerity, or they are not very austere people, not tapasvis. So they cannot see you, Kardam Muni, because Kardam Muni lives in a hermit in the jungle, and he is always meditating upon the Supreme Lord. Who has any business to go and seek for him? Because he is concerned about him own self and the Lord. And also these kind of yogis are not very approachable. So therefore he's saying he has fulfilled his duties and come up, finished off his duty, and then immediately Swayambhu Manu comes and brings his wife and daughter, and then able to see him and talk with him. So it's a great fortune for him. Dishtaya padiraja sprishtam, padiraja, your dust of feet. I'm able to get that. Shishname Bhavata Sivam. Everything is so. So I'm able to take the dust on my head, and I'm very much blessed by this opportunity. So he says that. So Prabhupada mentions that nobody can get perfection without Mahatpad Rajovisekham. We discussed this last time. So here he's a Mahat. Dishtaya tvanu sishtoham kritaschanugraho mahan. So you have given a great favor to me, anugraha. Dishtaya tvanu sishtoham. Anusishto means instructions. So you have instructed me so nicely, even though he was glorifying him for his duties, but he is saying, you have instructed me by glorifying me. And I have heard all these things with my open ear. So Prabhupada mentions the importance of Karnarandre. Means one should hear the message from spiritual master or Mahat from ear very attentively. And then here mentioned that how in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Bhagavad Gita I mentioned that how to please the spiritual master or what should be our goal of life. So goal of life is to take the message of a spiritual master as life and soul. That is the goal of life. Then one can become Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. Many times our intelligence may get entangled in many other things. So then what could be the focus for intelligence? The focus would be the instruction of spiritual master. So that we saw. Okay. Then Swabhavan Duhitar Sneha Pariklishta Atmano Mama. So now he is saying that I am very much disturbed or agitated because I have attachment for my daughter, affection for my daughter, and I have to do the duty for her. So therefore I have come here with this purpose. No, now he has to request because Karda Muni is a great sage. He may reject also the offer. So then he is requesting. Now he is going to request actually that please accept this daughter. So before, so now here is mentioned that he may be rejected after he puts the proposal. So he begins with telling the qualities of or the attached or you can say the lineage of Devahuti. How Devahuti is so pure, so chaste, and she is so beautiful. She is totally meant for him. So he is going to tell about her. So yes, yes, we discussed till this point. So he wanted some favor from Kardam Muni. So now we'll start from here. So okay, who can read Bhaj Hari Prabhu? You will read 5 translation you can read. Then next some other devotee will read. Okay. Okay. प्रियव्रतो उत्तान पदो से
प्रियव्रतो
नो मैं बस पढ़ूंगा, आप उसका ट्रांसलेशन पढ़िएगा. प्रियव्रतो उत्तान पदो स्वसेयं दुहिता मम अन्विच्छति पतिं युक्तं वयः शील गुणादिभिः. Yes, translation.
My daughter is the sister of Priyavata and Uttanpad. She is seeking a suitable husband in terms of age, character, and good qualities.
You can directly, yes.
Yeah, she was his daughter, and at the same time, the sister of. क्या प्रभु जी?
Okay, you can read from here. पूरा पढ़ो.
Well, okay. The grown-up daughter of a Swayambhu Manu, Devahuti, had a good character and was well qualified. Therefore, she was. Thank you very much. Therefore, she was searching for a suitable husband just before her. The sister of Priyavrata and Uttanpad, two great kings, was to convince the sage that girl came from a great family. She was his daughter and at the same time the sister of Kshatriya. She did not come from a lower class family. Manu therefore offered her to the Kardam as a suitable for this purpose. It is clear that although the daughter was matured in age and qualities, she did not go out and find her husband independently. She expressed her desire for a suitable husband corresponding to her character, age, and quality. And the father himself, out of affection for his daughter, took a charge of finding such a husband,
Okay.
of a such husband.
Hmm. So we read last time also that Vaya Shila Gunadibhi. So Vaya Shila Gunadibhi and Sarva Atmana Anurupam. Anarupataya. So two things. This is one phrase is Vaya Sil Gunadibhi and Sarva Atmana Anurupataya. Means the girl, for girl as well as for boys both, the girl should be fitting in her age, in her character, sila, and in her quality with her husband, matching both husband and wife. So their qualities, these things would match her age, her quality, and character. And then sarva atmana. So sarva atmana anurupataya means she will be also doing all the household duties with the husband together. Not only some qualities but also doing the duties together. So she is in search for a befitting person who can match with all these things. So, and then to, as I mentioned that because Kardam Muni may think that he may reject, so therefore I have to mention that she is a sister of Priyavrata and Uttanpad. And she has not come from any low class family, she is a sister of Kshatriyas. And she did not go out to find out her own husband, as is current in modern times. Is so much free mixing or free choice. People go out to choose. So that was not prevalent in previous bygone ages or previously. See, we will read that about that also in future. That how there were other kind of marriages also allowed in previous times. Uh, so yeah, that was also there. But here it does not means she was under protection of her father, and her father took her to show the husband. Means the father made some arrangement for her. So wherever the girl chooses herself or a boy chooses some girl, so then the girl should be under some protection, like that it is mentioned. यदा तु भवतः यदा तु भवतः शीला श्रुतरूपवयो गुणान् अश्रून्नारदादेश त्वयि आसीत् कृतनिश्चया. Yes. Yes, unmute.
Hello, the moment she heard from Narad, from the sage Narad of your noble character, learning beautiful appearance, youth, and other virtues, she fixed her mind upon you. Shall I read ahead, Prabhu?
Hani bus that much. So okay. So now how this girl knows about Kardamuni. So she has heard about him, about his beautiful appearance, about his learning, his character, youth, and other virtues from Narada. Hmm. So see, Narada is not going.
But
Narada. No need to read. Narada is not going to glorify any karmi person or any kind of materialist person in the assembly of a king. So he is describing about the great devotee, Kardamuni, who is the son of Brahma. Narada is also son of Brahma. Therefore, here is the glorification. And then Prabhupada mentions there was no social intercourse by which people could know each other so freely. So it's not like mobile was there, WhatsApp was there, nothing. So then she had only one way to know, to hear from somebody. Like I remember one time we had a center like a voice where the youths they stay, engineering youths. So then the counselor was about to be changed. Means the counselor was going to some other temple for doing service. So then whom to be taken new counselor? So then the counselor used to glorify some of the his uh, you can say friends in the classes. So then some of the devotees they heard from the counselor, okay, this devotee, another friend of my counselor is so good. He is having a lot of faith in Guru. He is having a lot of faith in hearing from Guru or serving Guru. So okay, I will choose him as my counselor. So sometimes, many times, we cannot directly approach a person and know about him, but we can hear from the authorized sources, and then we can have faith. So this is a basic process, and the fundamental process in bhakti also, that we have to have faith in our spiritual master, in Srila Prabhupada, in saintly persons, in Vaishnavas, and we hear from them. We cannot see everything. So hearing from authority is the only way. Prabhupada says it's a better experience than gaining personal understanding. Because personally, if somebody wants to experiment with his own life, like Gandhiji wrote a book, experimenting with the truth. So now, how can you experiment with truth? Truth has to be followed, learnt and followed. So you should have a spiritual master. Then only you can do that. So you cannot experiment with the truth. So sometimes here, if girl wants to experiment with the boy, whether he's matching with me, so in that all experiments he may get caught up in some loving affairs with the boy and then gone. So she had only chance to hear from Narad Muni. Narad Muni used to come to the court and used to glorify Karna Muni. And so Prabhupada says this is the right way here. तत्प्रतीक्षा द्विज अग्रिमां श्रद्धयोपहृतां मया सर्वात्मनानुरूपां ते गृहमेधेषु कर्मसु. Yes.
Therefore, please accept her, O chief of Brahmanas, for I offer her with faith, and she is in every respect fit to be your wife and take charge of your household duties.
So this verse I was speaking, I think we have done this verse earlier. Okay. So they see grihamedeshu karmasu. Grihamedeshu karmasu. So the wife is meant to take care of all household duties. So he mentioned medeshu karmasu. So she will do all the household chores, and sarv atmana anurupam. And she is in everything, means in every aspect she is equal with her husband. She is equal with age, character and quality. So character of husband and wife both are equal. Age also, wife age little less, it should not be equal, little less, and not too much less, little less. And then qualities also. So basically the character, qualities and age all are almost equal. Sarvatmana anurupam. So this is important. And then grihamedeshu karmasu. So Prabhupada mentions what are the grihamedeshu karmasu, what are the duties in household life. So he says that household life duty does not mean simply to sense gratification, but make advancement in spiritual life together. And one who does not do so, he is called grihamedhi. So two words, grihamedhi and grihastha. So grihastha means his goal is not only to live in household life but also to make spiritual advancement in that household life. And grihamedhi means, I explained last time, medhi means he always focus on sense gratification in household life, how much I can enjoy in household life. His focus is always sense enjoyment. He is called grihamedhi. And grihastha means he stays in household life to make a spiritual advancement along with his sense, whatever sense gratification he does, regulated sense gratification he does, but although at the same time he makes a spiritual advancement like that. This is mentioned here. For a grihamedhi to accept his wife means to satisfy senses, but for grihastha a qualified wife is an assistant in every respect for advancement in spiritual activities. So wife is an assistant in spiritual activity. Therefore she is called dharma patni. Means in all the religious or spiritual activity she will be assistant actually. She is not only called patni but dharma patni. It is duty of the wife to take charge of household affairs and not to compete with her husband. This is another thing. Like Um, so, so basically, this is like Srila Prabhupada when he was married with his wife. So surely she was doing all the activity, but she was not satisfied with Prabhupada that he was too much fired up preacher in his life. Prabhupada had, uh, he was a nationalist, then surely he was a good husband for his wife. But when he met his Gurudev, then he became fired up to, to take up the message of Krishna consciousness. And so he wanted to preach a lot and he wanted his wife to cooperate with him. But his wife would not, like Prabhupada used to call some people and give classes, and his wife would not used to sit in the class, she used to sit in other room. So she was not liking the lecture of Prabhupada or his all ordeal of doing some preaching. So Prabhupada, and not only that, even when Prabhupada was doing business, so Abhay, so when he wanted that some support should be there from wife, like he wanted the servant from his house that he should come and take care of my business when I'm busy. So see, he said to his wife, you send that servant. So he said, no, I will not send. I need that servant. So she was not actually matching the needs of her husband to where he wants him, and then she is not sending. For small, small, trivial things, people fight actually. So one has to know one's duty and be trained in that way, so that one understand. Okay, this is the need of him, and I have to follow that. A wife is meant to, now Prabhupada mentions, a wife is meant to help, but she cannot help her husband unless he is completely equal in her age, character, and quality. This is another thing. When there's a lot of difference between the character quality, so then what happens? Hare Krishna. Is my voice clear to everyone?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Okay. So when lot of difference is there, like I mentioned last time also, that's one is a Satuguna and one is Rajoguna or Tamoguna. So then the quality is only not matching. So then the support system also falls away. So therefore the, if husband is mode of goodness, then wife also should be at least mode of goodness तो होना ही चाहिए, थोड़ा सा होना ही चाहिए. But if wife is in mode of tamoguna or husband in tamoguna and wife is satoguna, then this kind of differences happen, then they cannot support very much actually. So this is very very important. Therefore the marriages taking place between man and woman is not a uh, simply coming together because of some arrangement done by parents. Parents are also not knowledgeable whom to choose, how to choose. So there has to be proper training for that. So proper age, character, quality, and so the question should be asked properly with the girl team. What is her choices, and then boys. All these questions has to be asked. Not only just seeing the salary. Oh, salary हो गया, कितना हो गया, कितना salary कमा रहे, कहाँ पे कमा रहे, where are you, do you have your own home, so like that. So what is the value of all these things in today's time? Today's both are earning, so why they need a home also? Both can purchase a house also, that much. So what is more important is support. Whether one each is support for one another, like both of them are support for each other in quality, in character, in age, and in household duties, then it is very good. But if it is not there, then many times fight happens actually. उद्यतस्य हि कामस्य प्रतिवादो न शस्यते अपि निर्मुक्तसङ्गस्य कामरक्तस्य किं पुनः. Yes.
To deny an offering that has come of itself is not commendable even for one absolute free from all attachment, much less one addicted to sensual pleasure. Shall I read ahead, Prabhu?
No,
The denial of sense objects which come of their own accord is not recommended even for a person who is detached. What to speak of a person with the desire of the object,
Hare
with the
Krishna.
desire for object of the
Okay,
object.
okay. Hare Krishna. Sound, actually, I'm getting a message that sound is low. Uh, now, how is it? Sound, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
All right, Prabhu.
Okay, ठीक है. So here some words are spoken. Okay, here words are spoken here. Uh, Udyat Udyatasya hi kamasya. Now Swayambhu Manu comes to his proposal now. Now he has explained that my daughter is also looking for a person of these qualities, age and character and quality. So now, and she has a great lineage also. So to deny an offering that has come on of itself is not commendable. It's not allowed, or it's not. Um, you can say that it's not very good. So I have brought this offering to you, such a nice offering, and if you give it away just because you are shy, so then what will happen? Next verse he is going to say that you will go to miser later and ask this gift which I am giving, and then he will not pay respect to you, and then your all fame will go away. So here he is just saying that even for person who is attached to sense gratification, he should also not reject the offering. What to speak of one who is free from all attachment, when something which is not contrary to one's religious thing or his duties, if it is coming by own accord, one should accept it. Like we have a certain system, like Radhanath Maharaj said in lecture, like brahmacharis can not eat outside. Outside means some restaurants, means not all the time. Sometimes it's required, then okay. But whatever is cooked in the ashram, one should eat. So like that. So then whatever cooked in ashram means it's like a coming on own accord. Then eat that. Or somebody calls for Brahman Bhojan, okay, that is another thing. That can also be taken. But it's not like in general going out and then eating here and there. That is not very good actually. So here it's mentioned the similar way, that even though somebody has no attachment also, if something coming by own accord, one should not reject, because one has a desire, and if one has a desire and then later will say अरे 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 मेरे को चाहिए था वो मैंने शर्मा के मना कर दिया. So like that he is saying no, you should not do like that. So Prabhupada says in material life everyone is desirous of sense gratification, and therefore a person who gets object of sense gratification without endeavor should not refuse to accept it. So here it's mentioned. So Kardam Muni was not for sense gratification. Yes, yes, yet he aspired to marry. So yes, he said like that. And here, yes. So nirmukta sangasya, one kind of person is nirmukta sangasya, free from all desire, and another is kamaraktasya, one who desire kama, enjoyment, sense enjoyment. So both kind of people should accept whatever comes by his own accord. That is the whole understanding here. स उद्यतमना अनादृत्य स उद्यतम अनादृत्य किनासम अभियाचते शीयते तद्यश स्फीतम मानस चावज्ञया हतः. Yes.
Hare Krishna. One who rejects an offering that comes of its own accord, but the latter begs a boon from a miser, thus loses his widespread reputation, and his pride is humbled by the neglectful behavior of others. One who
No, no, no,
rejects
Prabhu.
that.
No, no, no. Hare Krishna. उसको मत पढ़िए. That is Vishwanath
Okay,
Chaturthi.
okay.
You only this red one.
Okay. Okay.
So it happens many times. Like sometimes in Prasadam serving, second Rasgulla is now offered, announced by the in charge. Now all of you can have second Rasgulla. And then sometimes somebody has taken vow, I will not take. And then, but he feels that this Rasgulla is very special. And when the Rasgulla serving person comes, he says, no, 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 I cannot take, I have taken vow. And then he goes away. Oh, I wanted to take it because it is very special Rasgulla. So sometimes it happens like that. Here it's mentioned. And then he may think that, okay, I will ask later, because anyway, you can take two and I have only taken one. So I will go and ask later, not in front of anyone. So then the kitchen serving person says, Prabhuji, now Rasgulla is only for those who have not come. Your chance is now finished. To them, what is this? I have taken only one. You just give me one more. I'm not saying lie. Please accept it. So then what happens? Okay, then what happens? uh, so then that time the person serving person becomes miser. Earlier he was a generous and later he became miser because rasgulla was about to be finished, and so the person has to beg that please give me rasgulla. So this is what he's saying. His pride is humbled by neglectful behavior. Okay, the question has come. One question ki earlier the sages were, but the sages deny sense pleasure even when it comes by own accord. Whatever come by own accord, if the some sage is already engaged in austerity, tapasya, and whatever is coming by own accord means it does not mean if some sage does not want to marry only, so he will not accept. But Kardamuni was wanting to marry, and so the proposal was kept also, and instruction was also kept like that. But if some sage is not going to marry, then he will not accept it. But in regard to the not like food necessity every day, like we hear in the Prahlad Maharaj section, when this Avdut Brahman, he was just sleeping, lying on the bed, lying on the ground, and still he was getting fatter and fatter more. So then Prahlad Maharaj asked, how can you are not doing any job, you are not eating any special food, still you are becoming fat? So he said, whatever coming by accord I am eating. I am not discriminating anything because I am simply absorbed in Lord's Leela. Whatever comes, I eat. So for him, eating is not a restriction. He can eat because he has to maintain body, and whatever coming is eating. So it's like that. So yes, there can be certain restrictions, but it's not all the time. It's not all the time. Like some job comes, like we are doing some company job, and some offer comes to us that you are getting a job in some very far place, far from devotee association, but good salary package, acha package hai. So it's coming by your own accord. They have called you. So now here you have to choose whether you can take it up or not, because your association will be sacrificed. But otherwise, second option can be job is there, devotees are also there, and then we can get good job, so good home, and children can be nicely educated, family can nicely maintained, and devotion service can also be taken ahead. So then one should choose that. It's coming by own accord. So it's like that. So yes, he says that. Biswanath Chaudhary Thakur says that one who rejects something out of shyness and because of concern for position, then begs the same object from one who will not give it, loses the fame. Yes, वही मैंने discuss किया just now. Shyness and concern for position are soon destroyed by the strength of desire. Like somebody says, "Na, I'm a president. How can I ask such things?" And he's shy also. So, but his desires are, I want. So then what happens? The desire surpasses his shyness and concern for post and position. And later he asks, oh, please give me, I wanted actually. Like that. So, but that all these instructions have to be applied with the intelligence. It's not for anything wrong, I'm saying. It's for something which is favorable. It is not against religious principle or spiritual principles. So now here mentions the procedure, general procedure for Vedic marriage is that the father offers his daughter to the suitable boy. That is a very respectable marriage. A boy should not go to the girl's father and ask the hand of daughter. So this was current in previous time also, means in India previously. Now boys are searching for girl. Modern times. Earlier, girl father were too much worried, and they used to find they to look for girl husband, or because earlier the girls used to be at home, and then as she used to grow up, the father would become worried. Oh, now I have to find out some proper husband. So he used to go out and find out. But now girls are outside, and they are not worried about marriage also, because they say I have to make my career. So then to make career it goes till 30, 31, 32, 33 age. So then father is also not worried. So then here the boy's father are worried now. And when he will marry, he is also 31, 32. So then he has to go out and search for girls. So the whole system has become topsy-turvy because of modern education system. Like that. So yes, what is that? That is considered to be humbling one's respectful position. Swayambhu Manu wanted to convince Kardamuni that since he knew that sage wanted to marry a girl, I am offering just a suitable wife. Do not reject the or do not reject the offer, or else because you are in need of wife, you will have to ask for such a wife from someone else. This is also very very important actually. Many times people uh, they are given some opportunity for their advancement, even either in material life or in spiritual life, but because of certain wrong understanding of principles of life, or very like here sinus is mentioned, or concern for post, people reject such opportunity actually. This is not very good. This is, see, if somebody is Mahabhagavat, it's okay for him. He is anyway not dependent on anything. Mahabhagavat. But when somebody is conditioned in this material world, one should utilize his intelligence. Therefore, Rup Goswami says that anasaktasya vishayan yatharam upayanjita nirvande Krishna sambandhe yukta vairagya uchyate. So you should not reject the things actually, because things can be utilized in Krishna seva. Like I remember, now we are preaching in Bavdan. So Radhesham Prabhu mentioned कि long back we were getting a good land in Bavdan for temple, but we rejected that. We thought that such a place where there's no development of cities there, all is a hilly place or forest place. When we will go to make temple there? So they rejected that land, and so so, so now they are lamenting. Carry, we could have taken that land now, could have made temple also. So sometimes this happens actually, yeah? Because sometimes we are too much brahmanical, so that we don't want anything. But later we lament, अरे बाबा ऐसा हो गया होता तो क्या होता. So yeah, at the same time one should not become greedy that you start possessing one after another. Oh, ये भी चाहिए वो भी चाहिए ये भी चाहिए वो भी चाहिए. But whatever can be used in Krishna seva, it has to be taken care actually. Okay, this can be used not today, tomorrow it can be used, let us keep it. eh? Let us keep it under some custody, and then tomorrow we may use. So it is said for personal use, it is said that as a brahmana he should not accumulate. As a brahmana one should not accumulate, but when it comes to running an institution, you have to accumulate certain property for your own good, for the good of the community. Actually, you have to accumulate. Now recently, in Vada, GEV, they are expanding the project. Now they are also making Mayapur. So Radhanath Maharaj had made Vrindavan now, 7 temples. Now he's now deciding to make Mayapur there. So now they are purchasing more land. Now they also want to establish community there. So more land they are purchasing. So now just imagine if that land is only not there. Already whatever land they had purchased, now that is finished. Now no more land. So now they cannot think of growing more. Yeah, it happens. And then they may think, okay, whatever is there itne mein chalao jaise bhi ho gaya. So I don't mean to say that the desires are never going to be stopping. They never stop. But when it comes to personal sense, one can stop one's desire. But when it comes to community, the desires are okay. Let devotees come together. Let new city should be built. So devotees should think in that direction also. It's Prabhupada's property. It's not my property. It's Prabhupada's property. It's Prabhupada's devotees. So let us expand the family of Vaishnavas. They should live together like that. So now everyone is understanding wherever wants to take land, take big land, so that tomorrow it will be utilized for many other purposes as much as possible. So one should not reject if it is coming on its own accord. One should maintain it like that. It's not against the principle of satisfaction, or one should be satisfied, because one is satisfied for himself. He's not making his own house. He's not making his own property there. He's giving that property to temple, to ISKCON. One should take that property, provided it should not create lot of, like one person was he said that we will give property to ISKCON, but you have to make temple today only. Means today you start making it. So he was having certain kind of mentality, that when actually he had a land of 120 acre, and he was giving 11 acre to ISKCON. So why he was giving 11 acre? Because he knew that ISKCON is very famous, and once ISKCON makes something here, my land will also become famous, and so its cost will increase, and so later I can nicely sell it, or I can make very good use of it. So he was using ISKCON for that purpose, and then he said, so we said, okay, you will take the land, but don't force us to make something here immediately. So he said, no, 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 no. My grandfather, my mother, father, all they want that think construction should be built before they die. So now we should start. Now they are at age of 70, 80, they will die very soon. So start. So we said, no, we cannot take that proposal because we don't have any plan only. How can we do anything like that? So this is like cheating actually. They want to cheat us because they want their own things to happen. So that risk we cannot take. So that's why I mentioned here, we should not take up anything more and then disturb our peace. If it is coming by its own accord without any problem, take it, keep it, it will be utilized tomorrow. Don't become a brahmana that time. Okay, I don't need. No, it's needed for ISKCON actually. So okay, so like that. So another feature of this incident that Swambhu Manu was emperor, and he went to offer his qualified daughter to a poor brahmana. Now mention poor brahmana. So see, actually in reality he was not a poor, because what he did not give to Dehuti after her marriage, he gave a palace, he gave a city, whole city he gave. So who this Swambhu Manu knew that he had a yogic power. So now people work from morning to night or night to morning, and they earn big fat salary, but their healths are spoiled, and the whole situation in modern times is very much topsy turvy. They are not able to live very happy life. But Kardam Muni was practicing yoga, and no need to go for job, and he got all the siddhis also. So anything he could do through siddhi, no need to go for job. So therefore, he was not actually poor. He has no worldly possession, but he was having all the yoga siddhis. So here is mentioned. So Prabhupada mentions what is more important, culture. So culture and quality are counted as prominent. So whenever earlier marriages were taken place, so they were culture and quality. So what kind of culture? Family of girl, culture of boy. So when girl is offered to boy, so what kind of culture the boy has, the quality. So they used to see, that was the foremost thing to decide, uh, other than salary and other things. So but girls would also be ready to live with such poor brahmana. She must also be ready. So then it's a tapasya actually for both. Therefore it's mentioned quality should match, and then character should match. Okay, now next we'll read Soba Lakshmi Devidasi Mataji. Soba Lakshmi Devidasi Mataji. You can read, huh? Now. अहं त्वा शृण्वं विद्वन् विवाहार्थं समुद्यतम् अतस्त्वम् उपकुर्वाणः प्रार्थं प्रतिगृहाण मे. Yes.
Swayambhuva Manu continued, O wise man, I heard that you were prepared to marry. Please accept her hand which is being offered to you by me, since you have not taken a vow of perpetual celibacy.
Perpetual celibacy. So Upakurvan. So one is called Nastic Brahmachari, one is called Upakurvan Brahmachari. So Upakurvan means he will remain Brahmachari till he decides for marriage. And Nastic means he will remain Nastic throughout his whole life. He will not marry. So he knew that Ki Kardam Muni has not taken Nastic Brahmacharya Vrat. He had taken only Upakurvan. So therefore he is saying Prattan Pratigrahan me. Please accept what I am offering you. And what is offering? He's offering a gift presentation. I think it's his previous verse mentioned. No, it's not there. Next it will come. Upahritam means upahar. He is giving upahar. So two kinds of brahmacharya is mentioned, Prabhupada, Nastic brahmacharya and Upakurvan brahmachari. So he may take the vow to remain celibate up to 25 years of age, and then with the permission of his spiritual master he enters married life. Who? Upakurvan brahmachari. Brahmacharya is a student life. The beginning of life is in the spiritual order, and the principle of brahmacharya is celibacy. So what is the principle of brahmacharya? Is a celibacy. Student life means no marriage. When he wants to marry, then he becomes married person by the permission of his spiritual master. Only a householder can indulge in sense gratification or sex life, not a brahmachari. Swayambhu Manu requested Kardam Muni to accept his daughter. Since Kardam Muni had not taken the vow of Nashtik Brahmacharya, he was willing to marry with a suitable daughter of a high royal family. ऋषिरुवाच बाधं वोढु कामोहम् अपरत्ता तव तवात्मज आवयोर अनुरूपो स्वा साव आद्यो वैवाहिको विधिः. Yes.
The great sage replied, "Certainly I have a desire to marry, and your daughter has not yet married or given her word to anyone. Therefore, our marriage according to the Vedic system can take place."
Yes. So Badham would do kamo means I am desiring to marry, and she also apratta not promised to anyone else. Tava atmaja, and she is anurupa also anurup. She is also uh, according matching, quite matching, not promised. So Prabhupada mentions here there are many consideration by Kardam Muni before accepting daughter of Swayambhu Muni. So what is the consideration? First consideration is Prabhupada says that she did not choose to have any other man as her husband. So Prabhupada says the movement psychology or female psychology is once she gives mind to some husband or some person, heart, then she cannot take it back. Therefore, in Vedic times until date, until future also, a woman is married to only one man because she gives her heart to one man. That's why it's mentioned that sati, chastity, it is mentioned because they give heart to one man. So therefore, he says that she has not given her heart and she is young also. So therefore, I can marry. And then what are other things? Now Prabhupada mentions that there are different kind of marriages. First class marriages which are now also there, Brahma or Rajasic marriage is going to come. So that is only the marriage now remaining in modern times, where the suitable arrangement made by uh, means arrange marriage, you can say the father of the girl and the father of boy both agree to marry their dependents together. So that is arranged marriage, and in which the first class marriage by inviting a suitable bridegroom for the daughter and giving her in charity, well dressed and well decorated with ornaments along with the dowry, according to the means of the father. So there are other kinds of marriages like a Gandharva marriage, marriage by love, which are also accepted as marriage. Even if one is forcibly kidnapped and later on accepted as wife, that is also accepted. But Kardam Muni accepted the first class way of marriage because the father was willing and daughter was qualified. She had never offered her heart to anyone else, and all these considerations made Kardam Muni agree to accept the daughter of Swayambhu Manu. So it's mentioned here. So these kind of marriages are also allowed. Prabhupada mentions in future verses more about that. So Gandharva marriage. Gandharva marriage means um, agreement. Okay, says okay, I like you, I love you, and boy say I like you, I love you. So Gandharva marriage. They decide to marry. In that there may not be any permission required from the girl's parent or boy's parents. But the thing is that in such marriages the divorce was not there. So even though such allowance was given, but divorce was not, like then it becomes like so the union of male and female happens after marriage only. Prabhupada say just because two are friends and they are deciding to become unite together, but first they should marry and then they should unite. That is the whole principle. Means as a friend they cannot do that. They have to become pati and patni, then only they can do. So therefore Prabhupada mentions, so Gandharva marriage was allowed, or marriage by love also allowed, but then divorce is not allowed. Divorce was only for very low class people they used to do, basically. For such high families, these things were allowed. By kidnap was also it was allowed, forcibly kidnap. But Prabhupada later mentions in Kali Yuga all these things are not required because We are not following the social order very strictly. We are more like foreign Western culture. We'll read that ahead. Kamam subhuya naradevatesya putraya sammanaya vidho pratitah ka eva te tanayam nadriyeta swayeva kantya shipatim iva shriyam. Yes.
Let your daughter's desire for marriage, which is recognized in the Vedic scriptures, be fulfilled. Who would not accept her hand? She is so beautiful that by her bodily luster alone she excels the beauty of her ornaments.
Hmm. Kardamuni wanted to marry Devahuti in a recognized manner of marriage prescribed in the scripture. So, as is stated in Vedic scripture, the first class process is to call the bridegroom to home of the bride and hand her to him in charity with a dowry of necessary ornaments, gold, furniture, and other household paraphernalia. This form of marriage is prevalent among the higher class Hindus even today, is declared in the Shastra to confer great religious merit on the bride's father. So, dowry system, Prabhupada also mentions that it is not wrong. So here clearly mentioned what has to be given. I think the words will also come later. Putraya samaniya vido. So here the words are not mentioned. Okay, later it will come. So see, what are the ornaments, gold, furnitures, and other household paraphernalia? Because now she is going to make a home with a man. So in the home, what are required? Furniture are required, gold, all these things are required. So then she was out of affection for her daughter, the father used to give. His daughter he used to give. So because this is only one time investment. After that she will go and then he cannot give. So therefore, a one-time investment. Okay, giving not only daughter but also lot of gifts like that. So it's then mentioned to give a daughter in charity to a suitable son-in-law is considered to be one of the pious activity of the householder. Kanyadan बोलते हैं उसको. So now there are the 8 forms of marriages mentioned in the Vedic scripture, Manu Smriti, but only one process of marriage, Brahma, yeah, Rajasic marriage is now current. Other kinds of marriage by love, by exchange of garland, by kidnapping are now forbidden in age of Kali. Formerly, Kshatriyas would, at their pleasure, kidnap a princess from another royal house, and there would he fight between the Kshatriyas and the girl's family. Then, if the kidnapper was winner, the girl would be offered to him for marriage. Even Krishna married Rukmani by that process, and some of his grandsons and sons and grandsons also married by kidnapping. Krishna's grandson kidnapped Duryodhana daughter, like Samba was the son of Jambavati. So he kidnapped Lakshmana's. Lakshmana means Duryodhana's daughter, which caused a fight between Kuru and Yadu families. Afterwards, an adjustment was made by the elderly members of Kuru family. Such marriages were current in bygone ages, but at present moment they are impossible because the strict principles of Kshatriya life have practically been abolished. Since India had become dependent on foreign countries, the particular influence of her social orders have been lost. Now, according to scripture, everyone is Sudra. The so-called Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas have forgotten their traditional activities. In the absence of these activities, they are called Sudras. So therefore, Kalo Sudra Sambhava. The traditional social customs are not followed in this age, although formerly they were followed strictly. So the whole thing lies here is somebody asks, who are you? Kshatriya? Can you show we are Kshatriya? No. So then responsibility is not there. Then how can be facility be given? So then these facilities are also curtailed. But still people do. In nowadays also we see. Yeah. So we see that people they do. Not just because see people will have passion for doing all such things. Yeah. So then they have to be quite careful that then the second phase should not come. Divorce phase should not come. They should be keeping that lady and keeping that household life very peaceful and uh, continue till last actually. This the whole thing is that. Okay. यां हर्म्य पृष्ठे कवनादङ्घ्रिशोभां विक्रीडतिं कण्डुक विभुवाह लक्ष्मीं विश्वावसुर विश्वावसुर्न्यपतत् स्वाद विमानात् विलोक्य सम्मोहा विमूढ़ा चेता. Yeah, go ahead.
I have heard that Vishwavasu, the great Gandharva, his mind stupefied with infatuation, fell from his airplane after seeing your daughter playing with a ball on the roof of the palace, for she was indeed beautiful with her tinkling ankle bells and her eyes moving to and fro.
Hmm. So Vishwavashu, so now in the two shlokas, her beauty is described here. In last also, yeah, so she was very beautiful actually. Her beauty even excelled the beauty of ornaments also. And here's mentioned Vishwavasu, the great Gandharva, his mind is stupefied with the infatuation. So he was Gandharvas, these people keep going in the sky, they have their own planes. And then he saw that she was playing with ball, and just by hearing the twinkling of her ankle bells and seeing he could not see the her, but he could see the you can say the glare of her beauty, and so he became very much attracted and he fell down from his plane. So it's mentioned here, uh, see, because of his great offense in looking at her with attachment, he received the immediate result of that offense by falling. So it was a result of his wrong activity. He was just seeing that girl and then he fell down from his plane. So this was the reaction for his activity. And having described, see now who is Devahuti? She is the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She is a wife of Karda Muni and she is going to be mother of Kapil Muni actually. Such a respectable mother actually. We can see in that way. And having described her unequaled beauty and good quality, he describes her natural power by the ornament of Vyatirekha. She had a feet made beautiful by the sound of her ankle bells. So, like that is mentioned. Prabhupada mentions the previously also there were skyscraper building. Harmya Prishthe. Harmya means a very big palatial building. Swad Bimanat. So two things. People used to travel in their own chartered plane. Here Gandharva is mentioned. Maybe the other people also, qualified people, might be having such a certain facility. So one thing is Harmya Prishte. The skyscraper building was there, and also Bimanat. People had their own planes. So these things were there in previous time also, but they were not polluting the atmosphere. Or one has to really work hard too much. Previously technology was also advanced and people used to have a lot of strength in doing such activity, like big buildings. How now we make buildings with this what we call, put उसको क्या बोलते हैं, लंबा सा मशीन रहता है वो हाइट में, something we call na. uh, One thing is bulldozer, but also that machine which
Crane.
crane, it takes the all the building blocks to up to height actually. So that kind of things were not there previously, but people were very powerful previously, so they must be designing certain way. And that design we know that, like अशोक का वो आयरन का उसमें भी रस्ट ही नहीं लगता है, नो रस्ट, दैट स्तंभ, अशोक स्तंभ. So in previous technology, the technology was quite advanced. We could see previously that till date such buildings are existing, and now technology is very much not, I'll say very much, but it's again lower than previously, and sometimes harmful also. So now Prabhupada mentions that ball playing was also current, but now here it's mentioned ball playing was current, but aristocratic girls would not play in public place. Ball playing and other such pleasures were not meant for ordinary women or girls. Only princes like the Devahuti would indulge in such sports. We do not know. Ball playing means it does not mean basketball or volleyball. We do not know about that. Which kind of. Basically, they need a covered atmosphere where they would not be seen by others, and they used to play in that covered atmosphere because they are aristocratic girls actually. So this indicates that the palace was very high. Otherwise, how could one see her from an airplane? The vision was so distinct that the Gandharva Vishwasu was bewildered by her beauty and by hearing the sound of her ankle bells being captivated. Yes. तां प्रार्थयन्ति ललनाललामाम् असेवित श्रीचरणैर् अदृष्टां वत्सां मनोरुच्छपद स्वसारं को नानुमन्यते बोधभियातां बुधोभियातां. Yes. Okay, I think you have also completed 5. ठीक है, अभी कौन पढ़ेगा? सूर्यकांत कृष्णपु हैं क्या?
when wise when wise man what wise man would not welcome her, the very ornament of womanhood, the beloved daughter of Swayambhu Manu and sister of Uttanpad. Those who have not worshipped the gracious feet of the goddess of fortune cannot even perceive her, yet she has come of her own accord to seek my hand.
Huh. Now here it looks that Prabhupada mentions that this Vishwasu was seeing the girl, but here in this shloka it's mentioned कि unless somebody has worshipped the feet of Mother Lakshmi, how can see that person see Devahuti? So here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions, see what is mentioned here. What wise man would not honor this ornament among women, daughter of Manu and sister of Uttanpad, unseen by those who do not worship Lakshmi, and who has come of her own accord seeking me? She cannot be seen by those who do not worship Lakshmi. I have worshipped the feet of Lakshmi, the consort of my deity Narayan, and thus I can see her here. So who is saying? Kardamuni is saying, and this is written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So Vishwasu, moving in the sky, saw only the effulgence of her beauty, but not her personally. The excellence of her noble family is described. So he could not see her personally, and just by effulgence of her beauty, he fell down. Like that is mentioned. So yes, here now is mentioned that Kardamuni praised the beauty and qualification of Devahuti in different ways. Devahuti was actually the ornament of all the ornamented beautiful girls. A girl becomes beautiful by putting ornaments on her body, but Devahuti was more beautiful than ornaments. She was considered the ornament of the ornamented beautiful girls. The demigods and Gandharvas were attracted by her beauty. Kardamuni, although a great sage, was not a denizen of heavenly planet, but it is mentioned in the previous verse that Vishwavasu, who came from heaven, was also attracted by the beauty of Devahuti. Besides her personal beauty, she was the daughter of Emperor Swayambhu Manu and the sister of King Uttanpad. So even Kardamuni also knew about such news. You can understand, he was a great ascetic, but he also knew about the Devahuti. And Devahuti also knew about Kardamuni from hearing from Narad Muni. So even though such things were there, the news was there. Therefore he could say, now, and see, Kardamuni is not a chota mota sage. He is a, you can understand, he has already perfected his yogic meditation, everything. He's seeing the Lord. The Lord also reveals many. These yogis can know many things. If yogi can go to any place by his own will, he can get anything from anywhere. So why can't he know also? It is possible for them. So he can know. We cannot say that he must be going and then looking, okay, in the palace what is happening. No, it's not his business. But he was a great yogi, either through some assistance of some great sage he must be knowing, or by his own yogic power. He knew all such things. Therefore he says that she has not given her mind to anyone. I know that. And she was so beautiful that even Vishwasu got attracted and then he fell down. So he's saying that all such thing. अतो भजिष्ये समयेन साध्वीं यावत् तेजो बिभ्रयादात्मनो मे अतो धर्मान् पारमहंस्य मुख्यान् शुक्ल प्रोक्तान् बहु मन्य manye bihim sran. Yes.
Therefore, I shall accept this chaste girl as my wife on the condition that after she bears semen from my body, I shall accept the life of devotional service accepted by the most perfect human beings. That process was described by Lord Vishnu. It is free from envy.
Hmm. So here is an important thing. So, atmanah me teja. So, I will be householder until I produce children. Then I will renounce. Samaya is verbal agreement. I will accept the girl when the power from my body will become fruitful. I will accept her when there is opportunity after completing my austerity. Atmana me teja also refer to the Kapila, who is the power of my worshipable Lord. I will accept the chief dharma of the Paramhansa. So here it's mentioned that after I give birth to this Teja, the Vishnu, the Lord Vishnu, who is my worshipful Lord, he is going to take birth through me, through my semen. So then after I produce that, I will leave the family. I will go for the Paramhansa path, which is spoken by my Lord Sukla. Sukla means white. So the Lord has spoken about this path which is free from envy. So whether this household life is free from envy? No, it is not, because it's a griheshu kut dharmeshu, it is mentioned. In this material world, the household life is also not free from envy. Because whenever you make some partition for certain sense gratification, so then that requires some envy will always be there for my children, my home, this my property. So therefore he's saying, okay, after I complete my job, I will give up all these things and I'll go to Paramhansa path. Before marriage only, he is saying to his father, this will be my condition of entering into married life. Kardamuni expressed his desire for a very beautiful wife to Emperor Swayambhu Manu and accepted the emperor's daughter for marriage. So here, Kardamuni was in hermitage, practicing complete celibacy as brahmachari. And although he had desire to marry, he did not want to be householder for whole span of his life because he was conversant with the Vedic principle of human life. According to Vedic principle, first part of life should be utilized in brahmacharya for the development of character and spiritual qualities. In the next part of life, one may accept a wife and beget children, but one should not beget children like cats and dogs. Kardamuni desired to beget child who would be the ray of supreme personality of Godhead. One should beget a child who can perform duties of Vishnu. Otherwise, there is no need to produce children. There are two kinds of children born of good father. One is educated in Krishna consciousness so that he can be delivered from clutches of Maya in that very life, and other is the ray of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and teaches the world the ultimate goal of life. So then, later chapters we know that Kapil Muni is that going to be born. Great householders pray to the god to send his representatives so that they may be an auspicious movement. There may be auspicious movement in human society. This is one reason to beget a child. Another reason is that a highly enlightened parent can train a child in Krishna consciousness so that the child will not have to come back again to this miserable world. Parents should see to it that the child born of them does not enter the womb of a mother again. Unless one can train a child for liberation in that life, there is no need to marry or produce children. If human society produces children like cats and dogs for the disturbance of social order, then the world becomes hellish, and it has in this age of Kali. In this age, neither parents nor children are trained. Both are animalistic and simply eat, sleep, mate, defend, and gratify senses. This disorder in social life cannot bring peace to human society. Kadamuni explains beforehand that he would not associate with a girl Devahuti for the whole duration of life. He would simply associate with her until he had a child. And in other words, sex life should be utilized only to produce a nice child, not for any other purpose. Human life is especially meant for complete devotion to the service of the Lord. That is the philosophy of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. So here, as you are seeing, is a great responsibility for the parents. Marriage is how to do marriage that we have learned here. How the training should be given for girls, for boys, and the quality should be matching quality, character, and their age and their household duty, everything. And now here it's mentioned that one should not remain in family life. It means there is a certain period of time when the children should be produced, they should be fostered, they should be educated, they should be grown, and they should be trained, especially they should be trained in Krishna consciousness. And then both should take to Banprasth order. And if husband is Brahmana, then he should take to sannyas. Otherwise, both can remain together in family life, but no sex life, and then they can worship the Lord and they can perfect their life together. This is a whole Vedic system applied in Kali Yuga, actually. When it comes to producing a lot of, like here mentioned, don't beget children like cats and dogs. So for devotees, actually, if devotees already getting trained in themselves, so they can surely, like Bhaktivedanta Thakur produced 11, 12 children actually. So, and one of the children was the ray of Vishnu himself. Prabhupada mentions in future here. But he again took to Babaji Diksha later. Bhaktivinoda Thakur became Babaji later. And he perfected his life. So basically, it does not mean that one should not produce children. It means that one should produce children to train them first. If one is very more advanced, then he can pray to the Lord, please, you only come and deliver the world. Like that. But yes, if out of these two, if somebody person has no goal in life, he has not been devotee also, so then in general case, how we should preach? Yeah, we should preach means you should become devotee. That is the whole preaching. We cannot say that you marry and don't produce children, because putra hinam griham sunyam. Griham sunya means griham is sunya putra. But Prabhupada says if you produce a putra which will create a lot of trouble to the world, that is not good. So then children should be trained in Krishna consciousness. Chanakya Pandit says if child is not devotee of God or learned person, then he is not a putra, he is a mutra. He said. So therefore, children should be trained in knowledge, Vedic knowledge. Also, if not Krishna consciousness, then Vedic knowledge he should be trained. He should become learned person so that he do good for others. Janma sarthak kari karo parupkar. The whole understanding is this. And then at the last part, Paramhansa stage here mentioned, because Kardam Muni was not an ordinary husband actually, he was a great person. So after fulfilling the responsibility to produce nice child, one should take to sannyas and engage in perfectional Paramhansa stage. Paramhansa refers to the most highly elevated perfectional stage of life. There are the 4 stages of sannyas life. Paramhansa is the highest order. Srimad Bhagavatam is called Paramhansa Samhita, the treatise for the highest class of human being. The Paramhansa is free from envy. In other stages, even in the household stage of life, there is a competition and envy. But since the activities of human being in Paramhansa stage are completely engaged in Krishna consciousness, there is no scope for envy. As I mentioned, गृहेषु कूट धर्मेषु, ये कूट धर्म डिप्लोमेटिकल है. गृहेश घर का धर्म होता है, डिप्लोमेटिक होता है हमेशा. One has to earn money by so many other means, illegal means also sometimes, and lot of plans for sense gratification are there, and somehow it has to be devoted in Krishna consciousness also. So it's not very clear. It's not very clear. It's not very Paramhansa stage. Paramhansa is so therefore Paramhansa stage has to be followed at the last part, when children are grown up, they have been trained up, they are leading their own life. So then, if husband becomes so qualified, he takes sannyas. Sannyas is not mentioned for everyone, but Banpras is mentioned for everyone. Sannyas is not mentioned for everyone. Sannyas only should be taken by those who are having Brahminical qualities. Then they are qualified for sannyas. And then sannyas then comes Paramahansa is very high stage. So our soul is having multi-life journey. One life it not qualified, next life he will do. So at least one should try in this life. Okay, I could not become Paramahansa, but one should become Banprastha. And then practice spiritual life and advance more like that. And if you can become Paramahansa there only, so then it's also good. It's like that. So in the same order, Kardam Muni, about 100 years ago, Thakur Bhaktivedanta also wanted to beget child who would preach the philosophy and teachings of Lord Chaitanya to the fullest extent. By his prayers to the Lord, he had a child, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, who at the present moment is preaching the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So like that, he was a ray of Vishnu. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur not only trained his children, but he also produced the ray of Vishnu because he's a Paramhansa himself actually. Okay. Yato bhavad vishwam idam vichitram samsthasyate yatra cha vavatishthate prajapatim nam patiresha mahyam param pramanam bhagavan anantah. Yes.
The highest authority for me is the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom this wonderful creation emanates and in whom its sustenance and dissolution rest. He is the origin of all Prajapatis, the personalities meant to produce living entities in this world.
Ah. This is such a nice devotional service Karna Muni is doing. Now his father is Brahma, but he is saying he is not my father. My father is Krishna. That's why he's just connecting that why I want to take to Paramhansa order actually, why I want to enter into married life, not because Brahma is wanting me to do that, but I am understanding the desire of the Lord. And so ultimately I want to go to Paramhansa stage to please the same Lord. Because Brahma never said you take to Paramhansa after your marriage life. Brahma said you produce child. But he knows that how to produce child. First he has to do austerity to purify his consciousness, and then later beget the children, and then again come out and go to Paramhansa stage. And this is all processes given by Lord Vishnu. So he knows who is my real father. So he's saying the highest authority for me is not Brahma, but unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom this whole creation has come about. And he is the origin of all Prajapati. So my Brahma is also Prajapati. Yes, he is the Pitama of all the Prajapatis. So the origin of all Prajapati. So whatever I've heard from my father, Brahma, it is basically from my Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Kardamuni was ordered by his father Prajapati to produce children in the beginning of creation. The Prajapatis were meant to produce the large population which was to reside in the planets of the gigantic universe. But Kardamuni said, although his father was Prajapati who desired him to produce children, but actually his origin was Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. Because Vishnu is the origin of everything, he is the actual creator of the universe. He is a maintainer, and when everything is annihilated, it rests into him only. That is the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then he mentions about other things. Kardamuni knew very well by his power in progressive spiritual life that Vishnu, the personality of Godhead, was worshipable deity. Whatever Vishnu desired was his duty and nothing else. He was not prepared to beget a number of children. He would beget only one child, and who would help in the mission of Vishnu, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Whenever there is a discrepancy in the discharge of religious principles, the Lord descends on the surface of earth to protect the religious principles and annihilate the miscreants. Marrying and begetting a child is considered to liquidate one's debts to family in which one is born. There are many debts which are imposed upon a child just after his birth. There are the debts to the family in which one is born, like debts to demigod, debt to pitas and rishis. But if someone engages only in the service of the Lord, who is actually worshipable, then even without trying to liquidate one's debts, one becomes free from all obligation. Kardamuni preferred to devote his life as a servant of the Lord in Paramhansa knowledge, and to beget a child only for that purpose, not to beget numberless children to fill up the vacancies in the universe. So actually Kardamuni is very Vyavasayatmika buddhi, you can say, very concentrated on his goal. He does not want to just fulfill the desire of Prajapati, keep on producing. No, like Daksha, we see that Daksha is also son of Brahma, but Daksha was only producing children. Daksha means his name is only Daksha, means he's a very much Daksha in producing children. So he is not taking the role of Daksha. He is also preparing his path way out of this world. He is giving birth to children. Surely Prabhupada say one child as a Kapil Muni, but he also produces 9 daughters. 9 daughters plus one child he produces. So now these daughters were taken by many rishis, and then they procreate the whole progeny later. So then whole universe becomes filled up. So the daughter of Kardam Munis. So we can see later. So, but he's concerned, he's only concerned with his own job. I am not going to fulfill all such things that I have to produce, keep on producing, no, not like that. He wants to come out also. This is what Prabhupada is mentioning here. That's why his things are given in Srimad Bhagavatam. One minute, I think. Actually, I have not read this. See, here it's mentioned. पुन्नाम्नो नरकाद् यस्मात् पितरं त्रायते सुत तस्मात् पुत्र इति प्रोक्ता स्वयं एव स्वयंभुव. So it is mentioned the Pun Nama. There is a hell called Pun, that Naraka. So Putra means one who delivers his father from Pun Namak hell. Pun नाम के hell से मुक्त करता है, उसको बोलते हैं पुत्र. So then it's mentioned here, Putro Nayati Naradeva Yama Shayat. The son saves his father from the custody of Yamraj. It is never said Putro Nayati Mataram. It is never said that he delivers his mother. The son saves the mother. Like we say, na? Like see, son is a property of both father and mother. But actually, the son is a property of father. Mother only gives the body. But the semen or the soul is given by the father. So therefore, it is mentioned in the scripture, the son is a property of a father. And when it comes to delivering through tarpana, like Shraddha we do, so when the son does Shraddha, so then who gets delivered? The father or mother? So it's mentioned the father gets delivered. What about the mother? Then mother is said here, because the son delivers his father from punishment in the hell called Put. The son is called Putra. Called Pun. It's not a Put, it's a Pun. According to this principle, when there is a disagreement between father and mother, it is the father, not the mother, who is delivered by the son. But if the wife is faithful and firmly adherent to her husband, and when father is delivered, the mother is also delivered. It means if both they remain together till whole life long and they die, and then their son is offering tarpan or shraddha to father, then mother also gets the benefit. So this is the whole. So therefore, the marriage not only helps in this life but in next life also. So this is what mentioned. Therefore, putro nayati naradeva yam shayat. It's not putro nayati mataram. So the seed giving father is delivered, not the storekeeper mother. Consequently, the husband and wife should not separate under any condition. For if they have a child whom they raise to be Vaishnava, he can save both the father and mother from the custody of Yamaraj and punishment in the hellish life. So surely, previously people were very much concerned about what karma, because karma's bhakti was not very easily given to the people. They had karma kanda, jnana kanda, whatever other processes to perform in the life, even in the varnashram dharma. Yes, so now they had to produce children so that they can vanquish their sins through their lineage. If something remained, so the child will perform some shraddha, and then these things will be finished. And so their husband and wife used to remain together like that. This is important. Basically, this is taken from 9th canto, Dusmant and Sakuntala section. Yeah, now the marriage of Sakuntala and Dushyant, actually Dusmant, it happened with is a Gandharva marriage, means agreement. So this she agreed that she can serve this Dusmant. To induce Sakuntala to help to accept the marriage, Maharaj Dusmant reminded her that the daughter of king should select her husband in open assembly. In the history of the Aryan civilization, there have been many instances in which the famous princes have selected their husband. Example like Sita Devi accepted Lord Ramachandra, Draupadi accepted Arjuna. So here like acceptance happens. They are choosing who will be the valier king, and I will become the wife of that valier king. So the marriage by agreement or by selection, one's own husband in an open competition is allowed. There are 8 kinds of marriages, of which the marriage by agreement is called Gandhar marriage. Generally, the parents select the husband or wife for their daughter or sons, but the Gandhar marriage takes place by personal selection. Still, although marriage by personal selection or by agreement took place in the past, we find no such thing as divorce by disagreement. So divorce is not there. So even the marriage is done in some other way also, but divorce is not there. Then what is mentioned? Of course, the divorce by disagreement took place among very low class people, low class men. But marriage by agreement was found even in the highest classes, especially in the royal Kshatriyas families. These things are there. Yeah, here is mentioned. In the association of man and woman according to religious principle is allowed in Vedic culture. In our Krishna conscious movement, we allow marriage on the basis of religious principle. But sexual combination of man and woman as friends is irreligious and is not allowed. That's why it's mentioned, means if somebody has to do selection also, but then they have to marry actually. They should not do as a friend. Okay. यतो भवद् विश्वम् इदं विचित्रम् संस्थायते यत्र च वास्वतिष्ठते प्रजापतिम्नां पतिरेष मह्यं परं प्रमाणं भगवान् अनन्तः. I think this has been done. Next. मैत्रेय उवाच स उग्र धन्वन् इव भासे असिच्च तुष्णिम् अरविन्दनाभम् धियोपगृह्णन् स्मितशोभितेन मुखेन चेतो लुलुभे देवहूत्याः. Yes, go ahead.
Sri Maitreya said, O great warrior Vidura, the sage Kardam said this much only and then became silent, thinking of his worshipable Lord Vishnu, who had the Dehuti, who had the lotus of his navel. As he silently smiled, his face captured the mind of Dehuti, who began to meditate upon the great sage.
So Maitreya Uvacha. Now this discussion is going between Maitreya and Vidura. So Vidura had already asked, we learnt in 21st chapter, that can you tell the lineage of children of Devahuti and Kardamba? Can you tell how they got married? All these things. So then Maitreya Muni is saying here. So after speaking all these things, Kardam Muni became silent. And how silent he was he was just thinking about the Lord. He was such a great devotee actually. He became silent thinking of his worshipable Lord Vishnu, who has a lotus on the his navel. And as he silently smiled, his face captured the mind of Devahuti. So it appears that Kanda Muni was fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, because as soon as he became silent, he at once began to think of Lord Vishnu. That is the way of Krishna consciousness. The pure devotees are so absorbed in thoughts of Krishna that they have no other engagement. Although they may seem to think or act otherwise, they are always thinking of Krishna. The smile of such a Krishna conscious person is so attractive that simply by smiling he wins many admirers, disciples and followers. So we remember Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. He smiles like people get mesmerized by his smile. And many great sannyasis, great souls, and devotees. So basically, this smile is a silent smile, just smiling by seeing the whole plan of the Lord, how the Lord is manifesting in his life, and everything is going so nicely, and he's remembering the Lord. Because one who meditates on the Lord, he becomes very happy, because Lord is made up of anandam, full ananda is there in the Lord, and one who meditates on him, he'll become very happy. So Kardamuni knows the plan of the Lord, why he is putting me in this situation, and when I have to show my devotion to him, when I have to come out, when I have to enter. So he knows that by the mercy of the Lord, I am doing everything here. Because just some time before he saw the Lord in front. सोऽनुज्ञात्वा विवसितं महिष्या दुहितः स्फुटं तस्मै गुणगणाध्याय ददौ तुल्यां praharshitah. Yes.
After having unmistakably known the decision of the queen as well as that of Dehuti, the emperor most gladly gave his daughter to the sage, whose host of virtues was equaled by hers.
Hmm. So now he hands over the daughter. Satarupa Mahiragi Paribarhan Mahadhanan Dampatyoparyadat Pritya Bhusha Vasa Parichadan. Yes.
Empress Satarupa lovingly gave most valuable presents suitable for the occasion, such as jewelry, clothes, and household articles in dowry to the bride and bridegroom.
Hmm. Now the mother role comes here. So now she is giving all dowries. So yeah, here I was saying that what are the things given in dowry? Dampatyo paryadat pritya. Out of affection she is giving, not out of burden. And she surely she's a queen, she has everything. So what thing? Bhusa. Bhusa. Bhusa means ornaments. Vasa means clothes. And Parichaddan means articles for household use. So these things are given, and many other things like sweets and eatables also are given. But in main things are here mentioned. Nowadays fridge is given, motorcycle is given. Motorcycle छोड़ दो, अभी तो गाड़ियाँ vehicles are given in dowry. And I don't know dowry whether it is now even in devotees marriage now dowry is not there. When they do this marriage through marriage board, the dowry system is not very much prevalent. In traditional marriages it used to be like that. Uh, and because of this dowry, lot of problem had also come in India because people became greedy. uh, and Prabhupada is mentioning here the custom of giving one's daughter in charity and a dowry is still current in India. The gifts are given according to the position of the father of the bride. Pari Barhan Mahadhanan means the dowry which must be awarded to the bridegroom at the time of marriage. Here Mahadhanan means greatly valuable gift befitting the dowry of an empress. The word Busa Vasasa Parichaddan also appears here. Busa means ornaments, Vasa means clothing, and Parichaddan means various household articles. All things befitting the marriage ceremony of an emperor's daughter were awarded to Kardam Muni, who was until now observing celibacy as a brahmachari. Now Prabhupada says that in the Vedic way of marriage, such a dowry is still given to the bridegroom by the father of bride, even in the poverty-stricken India, where there were marriages where hundreds and thousands of rupees were spent for dowry. The dowry system is not illegal, as some have tried to prove. The dowry is a gift given to the daughter by the father to show goodwill. It is compulsory. What is mentioned is compulsory. In rare cases, when father is completely unable to give dowry, it is enjoined that he must give at least fruit, flower, as is stated in Bhagavad Gita. God can also be pleased even by fruit and flower. When there is financial inability and no question of accumulating a dowry by other means, one can give a fruit and flower. Surely nobody is so poor. So Prabhupada is mentioning at least out of affection, give something. So this is should be the uh, thing to establish the traditional system. Because previously if the girl would not bring lot of dowry, then the mother-in-law, she used to torture the girl. What you brought? You brought a single coin, 1 rupees, एक पैसे में तेरा शादी हो गया. People used to marry in previous ages, 1 rupees, 1 rupee और क्या 54 रुपए में शादी होता था पहले. 25 पैसे में शादी होता था पहले. And they would not used to give dowry in some places. So then they used to chastise them a lot. So that's why this Indian history and the dowry, why it became so much condemnable, because of this reason. Because the family of bride who should give money, who should give all these things, they became very stingy. They did not work hard to give daughter proper facility. in the next house. So they thought that why, okay, I'm already giving my daughter, why I should give dowry? So this is one problem. Second problem from the house of the bridegroom. They were thinking she has simply come to eat away all the money. And anyway, there is always fight between in-laws and daughter-in-laws. So, so they always keep comparing what you have brought, what you have not brought. So all these things. So both family have to improve and they have to follow the Vedic tradition. Like we say that when there is a cataract in the eye, don't remove the eye, but remove the cataract. In the similar way, this Vivaha Sanskar, there is certain process of dowry. The dowry should not be neglected, it should be given, but according to the level of the father. Level of father means so father is very poor, he should give only one apple, not one apple. So one apple will not work. So he should endeavor to collect money, like some people endeavor a lot of money to collect and then put into education for the children. Yes, they collect from so many places. So in the similar way, dowry was also collected. So it is a nice system. And then father also used to feel that I have really given something from my home. And they used to also feel that मैंने अच्छे घर पे बेटी को दिया है. They also used to feel. And even the girl also used to feel I am not just come with simply given me. Just because I was born in one house, so it was given to me to other house. No, she also feel that okay, I have brought so many things. So I am giving myself not only, and also I am giving so many things to this home so that my home runs properly. So this was a feeling actually. So this has to be observed in the system. Even in devotee system also it has, because see if somebody comes and gives me fridge, Prabhu fridge ले लो, तो मेरे को तो अच्छा ही लगेगा ना. We will keep in the center, I will run it. For even brahmachari, sannyasi, they will also keep in center. What to speak of householders? They will also need it. So if somebody is giving some गाड़ी बंगला, तो क्यों नहीं कोई दूसरा लेगा? उसको तो अच्छा ही लगेगा ना कि अरे भैया तुमने लाके दिया, अच्छा है ले लो. Out of own accord coming, what is the problem? But yes, pressure should not be given. One should not be pressurized that you have to give. But again, from the side of girls' parents, they should be thinking we should give. This is a system, Vedic system. देना चाहिए. नहीं तो गर्ल को भी फीलिंग नहीं होगा मेरे पापा ने मेरे को क्या प्रेम करके भेजा है, कुछ भेजा ही नहीं मेरे साथ, बस दे दिया मेरे को. This is not also good. And some people think that okay, I have educated my girl a lot, now she will do job and earn money, so no need to give dowry. This is another way of understanding. If you will earn all money in family life only, no need to give dowry. But again, to assume is not very good. Whether she will get job or so many troubles may happen, so better give something. Something should be given. Some costly items should be given, some jewelry should be given, some clothes should be given, utensils should be given, so that the boy also become free from all tension. Once the marriage happen, everything is there. गाड़ी है, बंगला है, घर के items है, सब आ गया. He becomes free. Now live peacefully. So like that. This is the system. प्रत्तां दुहितरं सम्राट सदृक्षाय गतव्यथ उपगुह्य च बहुभ्याम औतकण्ठ्योन्मथिताशयः. Yes.
Thus relieved of his responsibility by handing over his daughter to a suitable man, Swayambhu Manu, his mind agitated by feelings of separation, embraced his affectionate daughter with both his arms.
A father always remains in anxiety until he can hand over his grown-up daughter to a suitable boy. A father and mother's responsibility for children continues until they marry them to suitable spouses. When the father is able to perform that duty, he is relieved of that responsibility. So girl is always there in the mind of father and boy is always there in the mind of mother. So this is affection actually. Girl has affection for father and father has for girl and mother has for boy. असक्नुवंस्तद्विरहं मुञ्चन् वाष्पकलामुहुः आसिञ्चद्व अम्बवत्सेति नेत्रोदयैर्दुहितु सुखा.
The emperor was unable to bear the separation of his daughter. Therefore, therefore, tears poured from his eyes again and again, drenching his daughter's hair as they cried, "My dear mother, my dear daughter."
Hmm. Amba. Hmm. South Indian also they call mother Amba. Hmm. Even North mein also they use this word Amba. The word Amba is significant. Amba means mother. The father sometimes addresses his daughter in affection as mother and sometimes as my darling. The feeling of separation occurs because until the daughter is married, she remains the daughter of the father. After the marriage, she is no longer claimed as a daughter in the family. She must go to the household husband house. For after marriage, she becomes the property of husband. According to Manusmriti, Manu Samhita, a woman is never independent. She must remain the property of the father while she is not married, and she must remain the property of the husband until she is elderly and has grown up children of her own. In her in the old age, when husband has taken sannyas and left home, she remains the property of the sons. A woman is always dependent either upon father, husband, or elderly sons. So we know that later Mother Devahuti, when Kardamuni leaves, then Kapila, Lord Kapila takes care of her, and he gives her the knowledge, and he makes her advance in that knowledge, and then he also leaves later because he becomes very much advanced in practice of yoga. आमन्त्र्यतं मुनिर्वरम् अनुज्ञात सहानुगः प्रतस्थे रथम् आरुह्य सभार्य स्वपुरं नृप उभयोर्ऋषिकुल्याय सरस्वत्यासुरोदशो ऋषीणाम् उपशान्तानां पश्यन् आश्रम संपदा. Yes.
After asking and obtaining the great sage's permission to leave, the monarch mounted his chariot with his wife and started for his capital, followed by his retinue. Along the way, he saw the prosperity of the tranquil seas, beautiful hermitages on both the charming banks of the Saraswati, the river so agreeable to saintly persons.
Hmm. So after doing this marriage and taking permission from the sage, they both husband and wife they left. Kardam Muni, sorry, Swambhu Manu and his wife Satrupa. And this was the beauty was mentioned here that he saw the prosperity of the tranquil seas, beautiful hermitage on both the charming banks of Saraswati river. Okay. तम आयन्तम् अभिप्रेत्य ब्रह्मा वर्तात् प्रजापतिं गीतसंस्तुति वादरी वादित्रे पर्यत्युद्युः प्रहर्षिता. Yes. Okay. Somebody else will read now. Who is some Mataji is there? Who would like to read Mataji? Some Mataji. Okay. Sachi Sundari Devdasi Mataji, you have read? No, no. Okay. Yeah, Yashika. Yes, Yashika Mataji. Okay, you can read. Ah. Overjoyed. Here, from here.
Translation. Overjoyed to know of his arrival, his subjects come forth from Brahmavarta to greet their returning lord with songs, prayers, and musical instruments.
Hmm. So now he is living at Brahmavarta place, and he's going back to his place, and so they are respecting him. So Prabhupada mentions that this is a similar description when Krishna returned to Dwarka after the battle of Kurukshetra. At that time, he was received by all the classes of citizens. This comes in a first canto you all I must read at the gate of city. Formerly, the city Capital cities were surrounded by walls and there were different gates for regular entrance. Even in Delhi today, there are old gates, and some other cities have such gates where citizens would gather to receive the king. Here also citizens Bharismati, the capital of Brahmavarta. So Bharismati you will find in Prachini Bari section, 4th canto, it will come. So the capital of Brahmavarta is Bharismati, the kingdom of Swayambhu Manu. So they all came to receive the king. Varismati Namapuri Sarva Sampat Samanvita Niyapatan Yatra Romani Yagyasyangam Vidhunvata Kusak Kasas Ta Evasan Shasvad Dharita Varchasa Rishayo Ye Parabhavya Yagya Gnana Yagyam Ijire. Yes. Go ahead.
Translation: the city of Brahismati, rich in all kinds of wealth, was so called because Lord Vishnu's hair dropped there from his body when he manifested himself as Lord Boar. As he shook his body, this very hair fell and turned into blades of evergreen kusha grass and kasa, another kind of grass used for mats, by means of which the sages worshipped Lord Vishnu after defeating the demons who had interfered with the performance of their sacrifices.
So see, the Bharismati, as I mentioned here, you will find in 4th canto, King Parchini Bari, wherever he used to go, he used to sow the seed of this kusa grass. So he used to perform a lot of ritualistic yagyas, fruitive yagyas. So his name became King Parchini Bari, means he finishes yagya at one place and all the kusa mat will be kept there and people used to sit in the yagya and then used to leave that place. He will never remove the kusa mat and he will go to other place. Again he will put the kusa mat and then do this. So he used to grow kusha like anything because he was too much passionate about doing yagya. So this Bharismati, the word means where lot of kusha are grown. So the kusha are very much useful for doing yagya. So that's why it's mentioned here. Any place directly connected to Supreme Lord is called Pitha Sthana. Bharismati, the capital of Swayambhu Manu, was exalted not because the city was very rich in wealthy opulent, but because the hairs of Lord Vara fell at this point. So this hair, what is this Kusha? Kusha is nothing but the hair of Varadev. These hairs of the Lord later grew as a green grass, and the sage used to worship the Lord with that grass after time, when the Lord killed the demon Hiranyaksha. Yagya means Vishnu. Okay. In the capital of Swayambhu Manu Bharasmati, these particular functions were being performed by the great sage and saintly persons. So, but now actually people are not using the kusa. Very few people now. Actually, kusa mat is so. See, it is a hair of Varadev. So, if we sleep also on kusa mat, it is very good because we are sleeping on hairs of the Lord. Then we should also do some chanting of mantras also sitting on kusa mat. The kusa mat is very much useful. In our homes we should have, whenever we perform religious functions, we should have kusha mat for chanting, for doing some yagyas, for even for sleeping one should have kusa mat. One should use that. It's a good touch. The Lord Vishnu's hairs are there. Kushakashamayam barher astirya bhagavan manu ayajad yagya purusham labdha sthanam yato bhuvam.
Translation: Manu spread a seat of kushas and kasas and worshipped the Lord, the personality of Godhead by whose grace he had obtained the rule of the terrestrial globe.
So Manu is the father of mankind, and Manu words come from man. Manu comes the word the man. So man comes from basically Manu. Those who are in better position in the world, having sufficient wealth, should especially take lessons from Manu, who acknowledged his kingdom and opulence to be the gift from Supreme Personality of Godhead and thus always engaged in devotional service. Similarly, the descendant of Manu or human beings, especially those who are situated in well-to-do condition, must consider whatever riches they have are the gift from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those riches should be utilized in the service of the Lord, in sacrifice performed to please Him. That is the way of utilizing wealth and opulence. No one can achieve wealth, opulence, good birth, a beautiful body, or nice education without mercy of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, those who are in possession of such valuable facility must acknowledge their gratefulness to the Lord by worshipping Him and offering what they have received from Him. When such acknowledgement is given either by the family, nation, or society, their abode becomes almost like Vaikuntha. So, like, see, now in India, we always, so many places in schools, children say Bharat Mata ki Jai, Bande Mataram. Means it appears that we are really glorifying our country. Then why our opulence is decreasing? So because it's simply a namesake. Actually, people are not understanding that India is known for its culture of knowledge, culture of Brahminical practices, culture of God consciousness. So just because some formality has been remaining till date, so just follow that formality. No need to go in attitude of that formality. So what is the attitude? We have to surrender. We have to become devotee of Krishna. We have to become a person who follows the Vedas. So because people in today's time, they don't acknowledge that this is a property of the Lord, and that's why they are fighting also. Hindu Muslims are fighting, other countries men are fighting. They're fighting. So here Prabhupada mentions that Swayambhu Manu, he understood everything is given by the Lord, and he respected that. And that is why this Varasmati was very much opulent. Varasmati nama vibhur yam nirvisya samavasa tasyam pravishto bhavanam tapatraya vinashanam.
Translation: Having entered the city of Brahismati, in which he had previously lived, Manu entered his palace, which was filled with an atmosphere that eradicated the three miseries of material existence.
The atmosphere was filled with the thing which would eradicate the three miseries of material existence. So Adhyatmic, Adi Bhautik and Adi Devik kleshas are also not there in his city actually. Now the material world or material existential life is filled with the threefold miseries. So we know that what are those threefold miseries. Human society is meant to create a spiritual atmosphere by spreading the spirit of Krishna consciousness. The miseries of material existence cannot affect the status of Krishna consciousness. It is not that miseries of the material world completely vanish when one takes to Krishna consciousness, but for one who is Krishna conscious, the misery of material existence have no effect. We cannot stop the misery of material atmosphere, but Krishna consciousness is the antiseptic method to protect us from being affected by the misery of material existence. For a Krishna conscious person, both living in heaven and living in hell are equal. So how he has created the atmosphere. Even in 9th canto, Lord Ramachandra, when he ruled the kingdom, there was no agony, there was no disease, there was no untimely death in his whole kingdom. Means he made whole kingdom like Satyuga. Even though he was ruling in a Treta Yuga, because of Lord Ramchandra rule, it became Satyuga. No disease was there. So Prabhupada mentions in that purport, even in Kali Yuga, we can make it Satyuga. It is possible if we spread holy name. Today, Chandramani Samaraj was giving a lecture, and he said that Prabhupada said, if every place we spread the Kirti of the Lord, Kirti means Kirtan. So Kirtan comes from Kirti. Kirti means Yash, fame of the Lord. So the more fame of the Lord is spread, people naturally they will become devotee. Slowly. Like when you malaria is there, so what government does? They then sprinkle that and what we call the some pest or insecticides, which can kill the insects or this machar. So then they sprinkle so that the malaria will decrease. So still people will get malaria, but it will reduce the problem. In the similar way, when devotees, wherever they are living, if they go out from their houses and they spread the holy name every day, so then people who are automatically becoming sinful every day because of their thoughts, because of their work, Just by seeing the devotees, just by hearing the kirti of the Lord, they will become pious. And automatically they will think, oh, I should not drink liquor. I'm not feeling to drink liquor today. I will go home and I will eat something. I will not drink liquor. How this thought came? Because they heard holy name and they are hearing. So this is the effect. That's why Prabhupada is saying, if this Hare Krishna is spread, the kirti of the Lord, Sankirtan is spread, then the sinful tendency of people will stop. And why people are not becoming devotees? In many societies, in many places, the reason is this. If we spread the holy name, see, येषां तो अंतगतं पापम जनानां पुण्य कर्मणां ते द्वंद्व मोह निर्मुक्तां भजन्ते माम दृढ़व्रतः. भक्ति के लिए दृढ़ व्रत चाहिए कि मेरे को सुनना है कथा, मेरे को जप करना है, सबको दृढ़ व्रत चाहिए. वो दृढ़ व्रत कब आता है? जब कोई पाप नहीं करता है तो. And when one can stop doing pap? When he had some piety, or at least he knows some instruction from scripture and he has likeness to follow those instructions. So this determination to do piety has not been awakened till then, and he's committing a lot of sins. So therefore, by chanting holy name when we do Sankirtan, these people automatically get some piety. Shinvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana hridayantastho bhadrani bidhanoti suhit satam. Shinvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana. Just by giving katha to people, they are doing, those who are hearing and even those who are speaking, both are doing punya shravan, because they are hearing about the Lord and they are getting punya. So in Kali Yuga, all other punya, doing some yagya, karma kanda yagya, that will not give that much punya. More than this, what? Bhagavat, Gita, or Harinam especially. So when Harinam, Prabhupada especially spread Harinam, you just do Harinam. So we should actually come out from our places and then we should do Harinam actually. So important actually. Because the thought process in Kali Yuga is itself totally perverted. पाप करना है, पाप करना है, पाप करना है. हमेशा मन में वही चल रहा है, पाप करना है. So how it can be rectified? Do Sankirtan. Just do Sankirtan and don't become shy. Okay, I don't have purity. What people will do by hearing? Oh, you are following for regulative principle 16 round. Just chant. Krishna will inspire people to get purified. Just by seeing you, just by hearing you, it will happen. So therefore, Sankirtan is so important. It is, and when we do it, when every places are filled up with this Sankirtan, then what will happen? Then these people will come to our programs also. They will become devotee also. This is a method. It's not, nobody, see, when everything is good, why people are not coming and doing bhakti? Because they are doing sins. And when they will stop sin? When they will think pious way. And when they will think pious, when their ambience will be pious. When the Sankirtan will be spread, Kirti of the Lord will be spread, they will become pious. Like that. So therefore Prabhupada is mentioning here, he made the whole atmosphere like that. So the Kali will not affect if we make the whole environment like that. Just do Kirtan, increase the Kirtan as much possible. We should increase Kirtan. Wherever preaching is not happening, increase Kirtan. At least time should be taken out and then spread Kirtan. So that, and with Kirtan some prasadam also can be given to the people. So that is also very good. They immediately connect with the devotees. But unfortunately, in modern times even they don't allow Kirtan also. It's a nuisance for them. वो बोलते हैं हमारे सोसाइटी में प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा, हमको रिपोर्ट मिल रहा है, they are complaining. So okay, what can be done? Then do Kirtan on the road. Some society they may allow, slowly go and do that. What can be done? But still the solution is nothing else than Kirtan. Kirtan has to be done. This is the age dharma. Dharma is age का क्या है? Kirtan करो. And then people will also hear that Kirtan. So one should take out time. So here it's mentioned. Okay, we have gone ahead time. So now only 4-5 slokas are remaining in this. 36 and 37, 38, 39. Okay, 39 tak hai. We are in 33. So we may continue tomorrow. Okay, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any question will be there, we can discuss tomorrow. Keep your questions for tomorrow. We'll end here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.